friend of the show, Kongman Lee. He's been on the show a couple times. Great guy. Actually had a conversation about this with him privately, and he did actually give me some exclusive information to share today. So we got a little bit of this. This tweet out from Kongman Lee says, "I was just fired from my job again for my conservative beliefs. They tried to silence me, but I won't stay quiet. Here's why I'm speaking out and what comes next." This is a 7.5-minute video. We'll watch it in time and a quarter here just to expedite it a little bit, but you will definitely get the idea here as we go. There we go.
I was just fired from my job for my conservative beliefs. This wasn't about my job performance or my relationships with colleagues. It happened because of the things I've said online and the political and religious views I've shared. Right before I was about to head out to work, I got a call from an executive at my workplace, and he opened with this.
The reason for this call is that we decided to terminate your contract effective immediately.
Oh.
Beginning today and going forward, you're going to cease all contact with employees, and you are not welcome on our campus.
So they told me I was being removed immediately and not to return. The main reason? Because my posts were dehumanizing and derogatory.
It's clear to us that your commentary invokes language that's derogatory and dehumanizing.
The specific example they kept bringing up is when I called women who celebrated the murder of Charlie Kirk hags and psychopaths. And apparently, that's unacceptable.
This is the exact same thing as like people on Twitch being able to promote terrorists and like show positive things about terrorists, and then Tectone calls someone fat and he's the problem.
Yes.
You can't call someone who's advocating for violence fat. That makes you the bad guy. It's literally the exact same thing, except it's unfortunately affected this guy's income and his ability to pay his bills.
So as you're listening to this, I asked him if I could share this, and he said that he is totally fine with me sharing this. I asked him, because the one thing that we've seen over and over again is people say, name the company. Name the company. We want to let people know who not to work with. And
Absolutely.
He said, normally he would, but in his words, he worked in education. So keep that in mind. He worked in education, and what he doesn't want to do is he doesn't want the kids to get any backlash or have the students involved based off this. So for that, I understand. He doesn't want this to get back to the kids.
Why would the kids face any backlash though? And especially he's using kids, so imagining it's not a university.
Well, he says he doesn't want any of the students involved. Not necessarily kids. So that's his words, not mine.
That still doesn't really make any sense, right? Because like if there was any backlash, it would be from the students angry that somebody as bigoted as him was even hired in the first place, right? So I guess I'm really confused on why that's his stance.
His exact phrase was, if it was a normal company, I would have blasted them, but I don't want any of the students to get bombarded or targeted for any reason.
I don't think the students would be. I think people would be focusing on the administration, especially whoever the guy who gave that call was. And I think that if you're working in education, it's even more important than just in a corporation to call out which institution it was, since the long march through the institutions started with education.
Well, I think that maybe what you'll find is if maybe you have that conversation, maybe I'll have that conversation, maybe I'll send him this exact clip and be like, hey, maybe it's worth doing, because like you said, we've seen this literal indoctrination at these schools, you know? So anyways, just keep that in mind as he's having this conversation, so you can see where their mindset is as they're responding to him. So
what else are they? Calling them psychopaths is mild compared to the depraved gloating over the death of an innocent man. But they didn't care about the context. So what specifically?
Well, how about yesterday when you implied that women shouldn't have the right to vote and that women are hags, miserable people, birthers, and psychopaths?
I didn't call women that.
Yes, you did. It's very clear. We have evidence of it.
Yeah, you can pull it up. I said that liberal women who dehumanize people and celebrate that.
You did not say liberal women. You did not say liberal women.
The context is...
There's no context. Your language...
Do you mind if I can...
I'm going to finish. Your language is dehumanizing. You target every...
Yeah, very aggressive.
This guy is aggressive, and he's demeaning in and of himself trying to talk to Kangman, unfortunately. And it just reminds me of like my tweet on autogynephilia, where I say most trans activists are autogynephiles, or people using trans identity to push an ideology. Like, they're not trans at all. They don't have dysphoria. And every time that gets taken out of context and people say Kirsch is transphobic because she thinks all trans people have a fetish. And it's like, that's not That's literally not what I said. And every time it's quoted, it's always taken out of context, and they always remove the most trans activist and replace it with either just all trans women or just all trans people in general. And that completely changes the context of what I said and makes it something that I didn't say and also don't believe.
I reached out to Kongman to see if he wants to come on and talk about it. So we'll see if he gets back to me in time
Hell
by
yeah.
the time we're said and done. So it's always I much rather talk with somebody than about somebody. That's a common theme for sure. But let's go ahead and continue on.
In every kind of identity that's represented, I'm embarrassed that we're just realizing it.
So the context behind that is the thousands upon thousands of videos and tweets and posts of people who were celebrating the assassination of a husband and a father 2 weeks ago. So the context is the sheer number. It was like 80 to 20, 90 to 10. The majority of people celebrating his assassination, someone murdered in cold blood, were women. Now, these are women who are untethered to their family. They don't have good family lives, right? They have abandoned their families and they don't have children.
So you don't know that. You don't know that.
Okay, sir. So this is, sir.
Suggest that the answer is to.
Am I allowed to finish, or are you going to keep white-splaining to me?
I love how he used their language against them. Fucking holy shit! The Uno reverse card.
Yes. You're gonna white-splain to me.
It's
Phoenix loving everything.
The only way you can even attempt to have a conversation, because this guy was interrupting Kangman, and he was like, "You're gonna let me speak. You're gonna let me finish," like being aggressive. Being bold and his like, I'm the righteous one in this situation and I'm talking to someone who's like a disgusting bigoted freak, right? And then as soon as Kangman starts trying to talk, the other guy bowls him over because once again, he believes that he's just in the right and he's disposing of like trash. And I hate this mentality from these people.
You think he's going to respond well to that?
Oh, absolutely not. Absolutely not.
We can be done with the conversation.
So what's he doing immediately? We're going to stop talking now.
He's like, you can't use our magic spells against us. That's only supposed to work on you.
Oh, that's great.
Am I allowed to finish, or are you going to keep white-splaining to me?
We can be done with the conversation. You are no longer permitted on this campus. You are effectively terminated immediately from your employment.
I asked for another example, and he accused me of saying that fat people shouldn't exist. What?
You clearly believe that fat people shouldn't exist.
What?
I mean, in theory, yeah, right? Like, everyone should lose the weight and not be fat because then they would be more healthy, right? Like,
that'd be great if he's like, no, they totally shouldn't.
It's like nobody's advocating for like, yeah, let's just go kill fat people. It's like, you should lose weight. You should become healthy is like the mindset behind that. What do you mean?
Just doubles down. He's like, yeah, sir, put down the burrito. You know, it's like that.
I have never said that. I've never said that fat people should never exist. This is your emotion speaking. If you're able to at least use your fat as a reason.
We have a file full of odious things you've said.
We have a file! He has a binder full of Asian men!
Well, okay,
who doesn't?
But he directly contradicts himself here, because if they're saying that they just found out of what he did, now they're saying they have a file of all the things.
They've compiled the file. It's exactly what happened to me with Offkai. They were just like, oh, we had a bunch of things sent to us. We have this thing that you have a track record. And I was like, okay, show me. And then the tweets that they showed me were just like, literally fucking nothing. Like, none of it was violent. None of it was hateful. It was all jokes. And it's like, half the time, like he said, like Kangman said in the video, he's like, I never said that. And I'm sure he probably didn't, right? Because these people just they do nothing but lie and take you out of context and make shit up.
Let's go and continue.
What else?
Any one of which would be eligible, and we would escort them out of the building. My only regret is that we just discovered this at this point, and that's on this institution.
Once again, how do you just discover while still having an entire file? I don't know.
Okay, so I don't understand what beliefs that I hold, because I don't dehumanize women. I have talked many times on my platform about how women are incredible, that their telos, which means design in Greek, is to birth life, and that's a very important role in civilization. I've said that multiple times. I said they're empathetic, they're compassionate, they're great nurturers and caregiers. That's what I've said. I've also said that men need to
I've never felt dehumanized by this guy. He's been nothing but nice to me, like the entire time we've had interactions.
Yeah, I mean, as a woman myself, I agree.
That's true. What even is a woman at this point?
That's right. Who knows? Who knows?
He should have asked that. He'd be like, how can I dehumanize that which cannot be explained?
Oh, man. Yeah. See, that would have been a great response. Can you tell me what a woman is? Ned, could you see the absolute meltdown that would have happened in that situation? Oh my God, I would pay money. See, okay. If these institutions were smart, this is what they would do. They would set up a pay-per-view opportunity to where they're going to fire somebody for ridiculous cause like this, to where people can actually watch the back and forth between Kongman and the employer to actually have this conversation. Because I would love to see the zingers go back and forth and the brain just melting. That'd be spectacular. Sorry. Smash came in with the $9.99, says, I want to believe him, but I wanted to believe Jussie Smollett as well. The protect the kids excuse is sus as fuck. He just needs to put the institution on blast for full transparency.
100%. And I mean, he could probably come back and be like, well, it's potential that, students could walk out and the school would shut down. And it's like, well, if the students are going to walk out, they're making that decision. Why would you take
you
that
didn't
kind
cite
of
anything? So
yeah, like why would you take that personal choice away from them if they want you there, or even if they like don't know who you are, if they don't know who Kangman is? What if they see their beliefs in Kangman and they're like, I could be facing discrimination at some point, so I want to make sure to stand up for what I believe is right, and that's to not have these kinds of people with my beliefs cut from the school by crazy ideologues who are running the place.
Let me see what I have here as far as a link for him, because I'm just going to send him a link and be like, hey, man, come on over and
hop in and
give it a go.
Busy.
Yeah. Here, let me get this. Let's keep going to the video while I send him that link. Phoenix. There you go. Sorry. I may be on a slight delay.
I've never said that men are better than women or women are better than men. I've never said that fat people should never exist. That's absurd. All I've said is that they should take care of their bodies and that they should steward the bodies that God has given them, right? So
I'm not interested in this debate.
And you see, no matter how much I try to reason, this is how liberals think. They don't value diversity of thought or the free marketplace of ideas. They will fire you, destroy your life, and in extreme cases, like we saw with Charlie Kirk, kill you and dance on your grave if you dare hold any right-wing opinions. To be an open conservative today in America still means to be a social pariah. Companies and institutions will punish you without question. But I believe in speaking honestly about my values. I've tried to be respectful while also being direct. Of course, I tend to be sarcastic and incorporate humor in my posts, but apparently that's become grounds for dismissal. I don't think being conservative or having strong religious Christian convictions should cost someone their livelihood. It is possible for someone to hold beliefs that you disagree with and that person not be a crazy, hateful person. I just wish that they at least tried to have a conversation with me before viewing me and firing me as a derogatory, dehumanizing bigot. They don't even know what it is that I believe. But
listening to him a bit further, I wonder, because again, the EEOC opened up this year and they were like, hey, we want to make sure everyone knows that you can file EEOC complaints even if you're not what is considered a protected minority, because these discrimination complaints are actually for anyone who has received discrimination. And that includes white people, that includes men, that includes heterosexuals. I'm wondering if maybe he's not naming the institution immediately because he plans on filing an EEOC complaint and suing the school. Because if that's the case, he might be trying to withhold a decent amount of information before he just lets everything out once he has the okay from a lawyer. Maybe that could be the case.
I would think that you may be onto something there, because a lot of times what you see is people, they don't want to respond for that very, very reason. Maybe there's some sort of legal obligation that, or maybe he wants to go for blood in a situation like this.
It was like when I was talking about like the Vice situation, there was very little that I could openly say while I was writing up the cease and desist letter, right? So it's a very possible thing that that's what he's doing.
That'd be interesting. Well, he has the link, and if he does decide to join Phoenix, just so you know, you can give us the old caw.
You got it.
All right, sounds good.
Smash saying he should say that's his plan. I mean, while I kind of agree, I also know what it's like to be in that situation, and I was advised to not even mention having a lawyer. Like you'll see people all over like Twitter and Reddit claiming that like my cease and desist is just fucking nonsense, and like the only reason Vice caved is because they didn't want to spend any money going through a lawsuit. I was advised to not even say I had a lawyer. So
interesting. Let's go and finish up the last couple minutes here.
as you can see, they chose to take things out of context to create a fake version of me. Because having a conversation and trying to reach a place of understanding is hard. And it's easy, instead, to dismiss and fire someone who disagrees with you as a racist, xenophobic, misogynistic, transphobic, homophobic, every phobic monster. They chose to treat me like some violent terrorist that's not allowed on the property or to contact any of their employees anymore. They are more angry with me calling out garbage behavior than the garbage behavior itself. They are more angry at me calling people celebrating Charlie's assassination hags and psychopaths than they were at the very demons who celebrated Charlie's assassination. So what now? Well, I know some of you have noticed that I've been absent from making videos and content for almost 2 years now.
Okay, so he goes on to say that he has a YouTube channel. He has he's got a YouTube channel. He has a Gibson Go, which is past its first goal, which is great for Kongman. He's approaching $10,000 right now for the for that, which is good. Congratulations to Kongman, and he has a YouTube channel. So if you guys want to go check that out, Elon, this has been seriously boost. Elon Musk came in, and responded to it. It says 3.7 million views. He also said that he is getting. He said that all the libs have found his announcement, and now they're all attacking him over it. So
I got problems with the way like Musk runs Twitter, because there's so much with like the support system that's fundamentally broken, like completely broken. I had been demonetized for a while, not currently, but I think it was like last year, maybe like the end of 2023 into the beginning of 2024. I can't remember. Time is an enigma. But like, I was demonetized for a while, and the only reason I got my demonetization back is because actually Ashley St. Clair had reached out to me and I guess got it back somehow. And then, like 9-10 months later or whatever, it came out that she was having Elon's baby, and I was like, well, that's interesting. I didn't know who she was, but I was like, thank you, lady. That's very helpful. I just thought she was maybe someone who worked with Twitter. But like when you report things that are violent or, have personal information, things that are blatantly illegal, you always get returned back like, oh, we found nothing wrong, and like the posts get to stay there, the accounts get to stay there. And it's an insane kind of thing that happens, and people get demonetized, again, not even for being violent. And it's like, how does this internal checklist work? It goes against everything that Elon says publicly. Maybe we need to stop relying on AI for moderation and actually have a couple of real non-H1B humans on your customer support staff.
I've really been like thinking about, as we've been watching and listening to you guys talk about this, the idea, and like Smash coming in and talking about how we should kind of call him out. I think I understand both perspectives on this, because he has a relationship with the students, I guess, that in his education, like I said, that's free and fair. He told me he worked in education. He told me I could mention that. So he has some sort of relationship with these students, and he doesn't want them to get caught in the crossfire. But for the greater good, yeah, I think I side with you guys on this one. The idea of he should absolutely put the institution on blast wherever it is, because that ultimately will have a greater effect, I think, and hopefully will end the next Kongman Lee. The next time that they may want to,
like, there won't be another
somebody.
person like him fired for the reason that he was. And I mean, even if I think about it, right, let's remove the whole, like, he might, not want to release information because of a legal thing. What would affect the students negatively? Like, realistically, if he was like, hey, this institution is what fired me, here's the person in the call that I had, direct, any of the ire towards these people, leave the students alone. Like, why would anybody even think of the students? What students would be targeted, and why would they be targeted? Like, any other time we see like Nick Freitas or Libs of TikTok or any of the other large accounts, I can't remember off the top of my head, showcase any sort of institution that has like a corrupt HR manager or a corrupt dean or a corrupt teacher who's like, oh, we're getting around the DEI nonsense anyway. None of the students have ever been targeted. So I really have no idea what he means by that.
Well, maybe he'll hop on, and if he doesn't, maybe we'll have him on tomorrow to talk more about it. I don't know. He has look. All of our friends have an open invite to come on the show whenever they like, and it'll be interesting to kind of see if he can dig into that a little bit more. I would love to hear that perspective for sure. So, good news. Dark Llama Boy gifted a Rumble Premium sub. That's awesome. Add one more. What are we at? 138. Holy shit! My God, my pocket. And Lieutenant LT Sipper came in with another one as well. Add another one. We're at 139. That is massive. So I owe the chat 139. Oh, Jesus Christ. 139 Rumble Premium subs.
You're going to go broke, Craigathy.
Yeah, that's great. That's okay. Keep it coming. Keep it coming. It's all. Listen, this is an expense I'm willing to take. We'll throw it out there. We're good to go. We're going to make it happen and continue to grow, which is great. So marketing expense, if you will. So let's keep it going with those. I'll match all Rumble Premium members over on Rumble, and all new Side Scrollers Plus members. Add them all up, throw them in a pot, and I will add them up here in just a minute and gift them out to the community, which is
and hopefully
fucking
things
crazy.
will start looking up for Kangman, and we can continue our trajectory in cancel culture going away completely. I am tired of it, and I know I was blackpilling a little bit earlier, but I still want to maintain hope for things actually getting fixed.
Yeah, I'm with you on that. I think some people in the chat were saying, yeah, a little bit of black pill going on. It's important to stay white pilled.
It is important. I mean, I espouse taking the white pill all the time. You know, sometimes my despair can leak through because like I get frustrated too. I'm only human, you know.
No,
yeah, absolutely.
Look at what we're making. We're making stuff that white pills only. White pills only.
That's right. So head on over there, guys. Go to Side Scrollers Plus. Use promo code FOXLADY to get a big old discount over there. That's a big discount. And Rumble may not be happy about that one, but it's a big discount over there. Got another video for you right here. Go to watch it. It's a good one.